Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending. As you know, today this is Rick Hansen's last official day as Chief of Police of the Calgary Police Service. And just another quick comment on Chief Hansen's accomplishments and contributions on behalf of the Commission and the citizens we represent. We just want to wish him all the best and thank him for his 40 years of service to the policing community, his leadership as Chief of Police, and leadership in our community as a whole. Whatever his future career brings, we're sure that he will demonstrate the same integrity, commitment, and compassion that he brought to his role as Chief of Police. Integrity, commitment, and compassion are things that Rick Hansen instilled in all members of the police service, and especially in his senior members. And it is my pleasure to be able to introduce to you today Superintendent Paul Cook, soon to be Chief of Police Paul Cook, who exemplifies those very same values. As you know, earlier this week, City Council ratified the Commission's decision to appoint Superintendent Cook as our next Chief of Police. The Commission has worked closely with the Superintendent. He was the Chief's Executive Officer and liaison with the Commission. Like his predecessor, Paul Cook is a man who leads by example and brings exceptional strengths and insights into the office of the Chief. His background is impressive, and I don't intend to go through all of that today, but suffice to say that we have every confidence in Chief Cook, and he understands all areas of the police service intimately. Now, I know the question that on many people's minds is, when will we be selecting the next permanent Chief of Police? That's obviously going to be a priority of the Commission, but I can tell you that we are in no rush to do so. We have every confidence that we have the right man looking after the service and the needs and concerns of the citizens of Calgary in the interim. We will take the time to conduct the search properly, and policing in Calgary never stops. Our own citizens recently gave the Calgary Police Service a 96% satisfaction rating. I know that the new chief will be focused on continuing to provide the same level of service and security to the city that we've all been used to. So, Chief?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for those kind words. Appreciate it. Good morning to you all, and thank you all for coming this morning. I'd like to read from a prepared statement if I could, and then following that I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can. First, I'd like to thank the Calgary Police Commission. It's truly an honor to be trusted with the care of the service while the search for the new chief continues. Without question, the selection of a new chief is arguably one of the most important decisions that the Commission will make on behalf of our membership and, more importantly, on behalf of our community. This task requires a great deal of thought and consideration, balancing the needs of the service and the expectation of the community in which we serve. Throughout my 25 years, I've worked closely with Chief Rick Hansen. I've been granted the opportunity twice to be his executive officer. First time was back in 2007, 2008, and then most recently in 2014 I came back as Chief Hansen's executive officer. I'm confident I will be able to continue to steer our service on the course he has set until his replacement can be found. I see my job as one of continuity to assist with the transition when the new chief is appointed and to assist with that transition. I'm also very fortunate to have the support of our entire executive team, and together we'll be able to provide Calgarians with the service that they've come to expect. I greatly respect and understand the responsibility and accountability of this position. I gain great confidence knowing that the task is made easier due to the commitment, professionalism, and talent of all the men and women within the service, both sworn and civilian. And the other thing I'm very fortunate and grateful for is the current relationship that we have with our Calgary Police Association, and I'd be remiss not to mention the strong relationship that we share with our media partners, which is largely attributed to how open and accessible our chief was to our media partners. Our strong ties to the community and our partnerships we have developed will continue to support our service as we move forward. Calgarians should not notice any change in day-to-day business of our police service, as we move through the coming transition of leadership. I believe we have established a foundation of policing model that is the envy of the country, and it will be business as usual. Thank you all for being here with me today, and I look forward to working with you over the months to come. Today, this day is more for me about our chief, Rick Hansen, who in my humble opinion is the strongest police chief this country has ever seen. It's a sad day for our service. I believe there's many people with a heavy heart today. Not only is he being a strong community leader, he was truly committed to the health and wellness of our community and also strongly committed to ensuring public safety. He's had a strong voice in policing throughout this country, and I think as citizens of Calgary, we've all benefited from his leadership, and I'll miss the man. I've said it quickly earlier. I can't stress enough. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a lot of experience in front of the camera. This is probably my first media scrum, and you can probably tell. What I do know is, as Chief Hansen's executive officer, I've had a lot of time behind the camera, and I've worked closely with our public affairs unit. And I've seen the benefit of the open and transparent and matter-of-fact talk that our chief has provided to our media partners, and more importantly, straight talk with our community. I think our community expects it. I think our community values it. And you have my commitment. We will try to provide that through this transition period. Mr. Bell, I heard earlier last week, I think you said that you hoped that our executive had listened to our chief. I've truly been fortunate to work closely with our chief. I think we have some of the strongest leaders in policing amongst our ranks right now with our deputies. And I think we've all listened to our chief, and I think we've all learned from our chief. Probably the most important thing is around relationships, people, and what's important to us, and that shared responsibility that we have with the community. We are, without question, part of the community. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can.
Superintendent, why did you want the job?
I'm proud to be considered and then appointed to interim chief. I wanted the job because I have such a sense of pride in what I do and our organization. Secondly, I've been fortunate to see the leadership of Chief Hansen, and I truly want to be part of that continuity and that transition when our next chief is appointed.
And how do you think your role as executive officer has helped prepare you for this?
I think more than anything, it's the experience with our chief. I can't think of a time or a project or initiative or a meeting that Chief Hansen hasn't included me in. Part of my role as executive officer is our executive committee meets twice a week, and we set strategy and priorities weekly for the service and for our community.
Superintendent, you referred to the next chief, and traditionally the role of the interim has not been given to someone who's vying for the job on a full-time basis. Not to put you on the spot, but can you say with any certainty about whether you have any designs on the permanent job or whether this is strictly transitional?
I have no problem answering that. This is strictly transition.
So, outgoing Chief Hansen, he said in his mind the next chief is probably or should be from within the ranks because
Yes.
of that talent. Do you see that, or?
My personal opinion is working so closely with our executive without hesitation. I think we have some of the strongest police leaders in Canada in our service right now.
So you being appointed to this role, I don't know if you can answer this question, but does that sort of signifies that all three deputies are putting their hats in?
I don't know the answer to that, and I think it'd be irresponsible for me to speculate.
Superintendent, much like Megan, I don't know in this role if you're able to answer this question. On Monday, there's going to be a bill presented in the legislature about assessing demerit points against distracted drivers. You know, certainly outgoing Chief Hansen was a big advocate of increased traffic safety and stiffer measures on that count. Does the service have an ongoing position? Is that a position, a legislative change that the service is going to support going forward?
I think how I would answer, how I can answer that is, make no mistake, Through citizen surveys completed by the Calgary Police Commission annually, traffic safety remains one of the top priorities for our community. If it's a top priority for our community, it's a top priority for the Calgary Police Service. Whatever it takes to provide safety on the street, we would support.
Chief Hansen did explicitly, I believe, support demerit points, which
Yes.
is coming before the legislature, demerit points, and perhaps even increased fines for distracted driving. And I think I'm just restating the question, but is the police service still in favor of, still hold that position that there should be demerit points and perhaps even increased fines, as is being debated in the legislature?
Mr. Bell, I would say that the Calgary Police Service will support any initiative or any measure that will increase safety within our roadways. It remains a top priority of our community and our citizens, traffic safety.
So over the next few months, as you're the leader, what do you see as the top priorities of the police service?
I think they won't change. Community and public safety will always be our first mandate, followed by our officer safety. Our community, through our 2015-2018 business plan, have told us those things that are important to us. The perception of safety in this community, whether it's organized crime, whether it's gang violence, suppression efforts against organized crime and gangs, we will continue to focus on the priorities that have already been established.
Do you anticipate yourself bringing much in the way of changes at all
No.
to the service during your time?
No, I hope to maintain the strong leadership that Chief Hansen has shown us throughout his 8 years in position. So, like I said, we have a strong business plan. Our bureau chiefs have set their priorities, and I anticipate we'll continue to follow that path.
I know you mentioned this in your prepared comments, but just in your own words, how are you feeling about taking this role on?
I think I'd be naive to say that I wasn't anxious, but to be honest, I have a tremendous amount of pride that I have been given this opportunity. I think my confidence comes, though, spending 25 years with the men and women in this service, and I cannot stress enough, what gives me confidence is the people that I've worked around my entire career, and I know those people are still with me. So I look forward to the opportunity.
Why do you mentioned continuity several times? Why is it so important to you, or do you think it's so important for the Calgary Police Service to continue the form of policing and the approach to policing that was articulated by Chief Hansen? Why is it so important to stay the course? Not just as interim chief, but you were saying the police service should stay the course going into the future. What is it about that view of policing that's so important to keep going?
I think when you have a 96% citizen satisfaction rate through commission surveys, our community sets our priorities and our community helps set our direction. I believe the vision and the foundation of Chief Hansen is a progressive way of policing, and I think it is the future of policing within our country. So to deviate from that path of early intervention and prevention, the strong partnerships that we have throughout our community, whether it's Alberta Health Services, whether it's the school boards, I firmly believe the model and the vision of policing set by Chief Hansen is absolutely the way forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin?
Your captain and your chief.
Yeah, can you just explain how that works?
Right now, a committee has been struck of the Calgary Police Commission. Oh, sorry. Right now, the Calgary Police Commission has struck a committee, and we're going through the process. We are going to take our time. We want to do it right. We're in the process of engaging a recruiting firm. Once we meet with the recruiting firm and set the details, we'll let everyone know. We'll be taking their advice on timelines, the scope of the search, and how we proceed from there. We're fortunate on the commission that the commission members have had various experience hiring CEOs, university presidents, and in some cases past chiefs of police. In fact, two of the members of the commission were there when Chief Hansen was selected.
Are you, so can you explain, are you going to, when you talk about this firm, to what degree are they going to look outside the Calgary Police Service to at least recruit possible candidates?
We haven't had that discussion yet, and once we have that discussion with the firm that we select, we'll have a better idea.
But is it your intention to actively seek candidates from outside the service?
I don't see why we wouldn't open up the selection process. This is Calgary, it's a world-class city, and I think we would not be doing the citizens any favors if we didn't look beyond our own city borders.
Is there a budget for the search?
No, the budget hasn't been set yet.
How do you feel about both the outgoing and incoming chief, their comments on their hopes that the next chief comes from within the service?
Yeah, they're telling us something that we don't already know, that there is a strong cadre of leadership in the senior executive of the Calgary Police Service. Chief Hansen was very good about that, not just being a leader, but building leaders. So it's our hope that all three deputies do apply for the position.
Superintendent Cook talked about staying the course and continuing on Chief Hansen's vision. What's the commission's view on moving forward? Is that a direction that you want to keep going?
I would agree with every comment that Chief Cook made in regard to staying the course, continuity, and the importance of Chief Hansen's vision.
So any kind of timeline? I mean, we're expecting this to take several months, but
And that's it. We're expecting it to happen over the course of several months. We'll have a better idea again once we get the process set and we've retained a recruiting firm.
so when might you have another update for us?
Hopefully within the next few weeks. I think the committee will be meeting again next week and the week after. So there should be an update that we can get out to all of you.
So you're
Who's on?
hoping to have somebody in place by the fall?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Hoping to have somebody in place by the fall?
Fingers crossed, hopefully, but don't hold me to that because we just don't know right now.
Is there a ballpark budget?
I think we put this in our plan, our 5-year plan, if I'm correct, because we assumed that the chief would be gone by the end of his contract, so we did budget for it. I don't know off the top of my head what the budget amount is, but I'll have my executive director get that number to you if you're looking for it.
Who's on the committee?
The committee consists of 5 members of the commission. It's myself, the vice chairs Howard Chikazi, Lisa Silver, Steve Edwards, and Jonathan Perkins.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.